So the Cavs can clinch that number 4 seed with a win tonight at Atlanta. They play the Hawks tonight in Atlanta. And a Knicks loss to Miami tomorrow. Or they can just beat the Knicks when they play them Friday at home, which would clinch the 4th seed as well in round 1. It's going to take a collapse for the Cavs not to be the 4th seed. It's kind of what I'm getting at. What do you think J.B. Bicker's staff wants to see these final games of the regular season? What do you want to see? I think the Knicks, it goes one of two ways. Either you try to send a message or you play the Cleveland Charge from the G League. There's really no there's no in between there.
Right. It'll be interesting to see which of those they choose, and I guess a lot of it depends on what the Knicks do within the next few days and what the Cavs do against the Hawks. I think a lot of it right now, Dave, is the Cavs are kind of eyeballing that number 3 seed at this point, which isn't obviously a huge jump from 4 because you still only will have home court advantage in the first round, presumably, if you get the 3rd seed. So, but I just think that, you want to go into the playoffs with some momentum. And it's a delicate balance because you want to have momentum, but also you'd like to lock up a seed, at least home court advantage in the first round without, risking injury and playing your starters too much, give them some rest before the playoffs. So it's going to be a delicate balance. I would imagine by the end of the week, after that Knicks game, the Cavs will know whether or not they can get the 3rd seed. I'm guessing by then they will have pretty much locked up the 4th seed. I think that they've locked up the 4th seed, even though it's not official yet. I don't think they're going to finish any worse than 4th, but I think that they would like to make a run at number 3, and there's certainly a possibility there. I mean, the Sixers have some tough games coming up, and the Sixers are in 3rd right now. So I think they're more likely to try to get that 3rd seed than to back off and play the Charge guys, at least within the next 5 or 6 days.
Well, to that point, so this is how they could get the 3rd seed. You mentioned Philadelphia. They have an extra game. They have 7 left. The Cavs have 6. So if Philadelphia wins 4 of their remaining 7, and they play the Celtics, they play the Bucks, they have a tougher go of it than the Cavs do. Philadelphia wins 4, Cavs have to go 6-0. If they win 3, Cavs have to go 5-1. If they somehow go 2-5, the Cavs can go 4-2. The reason being, the Cavs lost the game that they had, I think it was a 13-point third quarter lead. So the Sixers, even though they're only a game and a half up on the Cavs, they have the tiebreaker on them.
Yeah, so you really have to look at it like they're 2.5 up on them with very little time to go. Philly's going to have to probably, play a lot worse than they're expected, even though they have a tougher schedule to close out the season than the Cavs. So, there is a possibility you get the 3rd seed, but at the same time, your first round matchup probably isn't going to be that big of a difference if you have 3rd or 4th. 4th, you could face the Knicks. 3rd, you might face the Heat or the Nets. So you don't know. I mean, to me, if I'm the Cavs, I want to avoid the Heat because they have a ton of playoff experience and they've got big name players in Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. Those guys are going to be, they've been to the playoffs before. They're an experienced group. So, whatever seed, to me, if you're the Cavs, where you can avoid Miami in the first round, is the one you want to get. But most likely, if you're just, all other things aside, most likely they'll finish 4th, and that's really a quite an accomplishment when you consider the fact that they underwent a major facelift by adding Donovan Mitchell and having to adjust all of that. I think they have a lot to be proud of going into the playoffs, regardless of the seed they get.